New toy day. This is just fresh off of the truck. A Coleman CT200U mini bike. Just got it out of the box, which was about as big as you're thinking. Strapped to a pallet. It's got 2 boxes full of stuff here in the front tire, and man, the fun's about to take an uptick here. Let's see what's in these boxes. I'm sure one is the fork, and I don't know what's in there. Yep, fork was in that box, and then we got our front fender over here and the destruction manual here. Oh, even a little set of wrenches. Look at that. Did not expect that. How cool. Oh, front and rear fenders are in here. Right on. So, this is a pretty cool little setup. Got this from, it actually shipped from Camping World, but the website I bought it from was called The House. And I don't know what the difference is, other than when I bought it from The House, there was no tax on it. So this was $5.99 exactly to the door, which is pretty crazy. I noticed these tires say they are tubeless. Or tubeless, and I thought, because there we go. All right, well, let's get this bad boy together. Step 1, install front fork assembly in the order: large washer, top bracket, small washer, steering neck, small washer, bottom bracket, large washer, lock nut. Okay, doesn't seem too difficult. It looks like we've got all the stuff here already. So, take this apart. Put the thing in the thing, put that thing through everything, and fork should be on. Okay, and there it is. Bolt, big washer, fork, small washer, tube, small washer, big washer, lock nut. And I noticed it doesn't give any torque for the lock nut, so I'm going to go with German torque, which is good and tight. Not too bad to do, other than just getting this thing lined up, you know, without flipping the whole shooting match upside down, which I didn't want to do. Now, tighten fork bolts on both sides of assembly, 15 foot-pounds. So that's going to be those guys right there. 15 foot-pounds isn't very much, so I'm going to German torque those also for the meantime. And I gotta say, them adding a kit here is extremely thoughtful. Oh, that's definitely tight. Yeah, not loose. At all. Okay. And now we're on to, oh, holy crap, putting on the front fender already. All right, that looks pretty easy. And then rear fender, that looks like it's going to be pretty easy. All right, let's get those on. Okay, so there's the front fender on, and these 2 M8 bolts were already in the fork. So I had to take them out, put the fender on, put them back in. So there's that. Now onto the rear. M8 by 20s, large washers and nuts. Okay, and that is on. And it's not quite straight, but I straightened it as much as I could. That's going to be the longer of the 2 bolts that's in that pack over there. The shorter ones don't work, ask me how I know. And that's what you're looking at underneath. Now, come on, let's put the tire on. The handlebar. Lift handlebars, center on fork assembly, using the clamps and M832 bolts. I'm going to assume that that's these here. Yep, already in. All right, so easy enough. All right, and I got it on there, sat down on it, just made sure that it's, you know, kind of at the right orientation where I want it. Now, let's smoke these down. Oh yes, front wheel installation, here we go. Okay, arrow the tire faces forward, insert the axle bolt, which is here already, in between the forks and the washers. Booyah. Okay, so don't do what I just did and route the cabling and the brake cable and all that stuff in front of the fork. It goes behind it. Or you're going to have to take it off and put it back on like I just did. Now back to the tire. Okay, kind of struggled with the front wheel until I got my system figured out, which was to put a jack stand under each of the pegs. Then get your wheel on, put your washer in between the fork and the wheel. Alright folks, it's almost showtime. I'm going to skip the light for the moment. Secure wires and clutch cover. Yep, I've turned bars left to right and they're fine. And that's how I knew I had screwed up the routing earlier, because I couldn't turn it to the left. Zip ties, I got zip ties in the bag. And they say down here at the bottom of the neck, all the way up. Okay, so we'll zip tie them to that guy. Okay. I bet you the next step, yep. Oil and fuel, 10W30. Some gas in there. Tire pressure. I think anybody watching this knows how to check tire pressure, but let's look at this chain tension. So what this is saying for chain tension is that it should be, when you pull up on it, you should be somewhere around 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of slack there. And I'd say this is probably in that ballpark, maybe towards the end of that 3/4 of an inch. I didn't measure it, but I think just to get it going, driving around the block, that'll be good enough to get going. So, all right, I'm gonna zip tie up those cables, put some oil in it. Okay, got some oil in her, and I had to use my smallest funnel that I have to get enough of an angle on the dangle to get oil in there. And I couldn't tell you how much. You know, I got some 1030 over here on clearance. I couldn't even tell you how much it took. I just kept having to top it off till it was full. Then I'm gonna throw some gas in it and let her rip, tater chip. Okay, there we go, she's running. Now, I did have some trouble getting it started because I didn't have enough fuel in the tank. And you see the way it leans with the kickstand. If you don't fill it up pretty good, that gas line comes from this part of the tank. So you're going to have it half full or better so it can get into the carburetor there. And she's a little cold-natured. There's still not one run without the choke on a little. But it is brand new. I think this thing's going to be awesome. And I wish I could tell you how many horsepower it is. I'm going to guess probably 6.5. That's all you get. That's 196 cc. And oddly, Hisun, I don't know if you can see, they're only like kayak. Somewhere on here it says made in Texas. That's some report from USA, Texas. Weird. Alright, let me see if I can ride this thing.